How you guys doing? You all right? So today I'm going to talk about anxiety attacks, anxiety, especially in the morning. I did do a YouTube video on this. I think during the COVID time, I made a video, but I'm going to speak on it again. So for those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Jonathan. I'm a confidence coach for men. I've been coaching men now for almost 11 years, specifically in the area of how to overcome anxiety and fear, how to build confidence, how to be successful, how to set goals, mainly in the areas of speaking to people, social anxiety, businesses, dating. It kind of starts there and then it kind of goes into all areas of life, if that makes sense. I don't want to confuse you. So subscribe to my channel if you've got anxiety and you want to improve it and you want to learn some strategies and real practical tools that 100% work. I will make a point of saying it doesn't mean it's going to be easy though. I'm not someone that lies and says just follow this and it's going to take away all your anxiety. It's not like that. You've got to work with it, you've got to develop it, and so forth. So I thought it'd be helpful today if I told you guys about what I go through as well, because people sometimes forget that I'm a human being, and I suffer with anxiety as well. But the difference is I deal with it very well compared to the way that I dealt with it before I started a business and I started teaching. And I guess that was more than 11 years ago, probably 15 years ago. So everybody goes through this, and the main solution, well, there's two solutions in this video. I need to systematically explain it to you, what I do, what works. So the first one is you got to get it out. You got to talk to someone about it, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm talking to all of you about it. So I woke up this morning. I've had it a couple of days, and this does happen when I travel sometimes, and when I'm doing new things, and I'm in a good mood. Things are going well, and then I wake up in the morning. I wake up this morning, and it's just a horrible feeling in my stomach, a feeling of anxiety, of danger, of threat. It's the feeling that I have is a sickly feeling in the stomach, and it's a feeling that I don't want to face life. I don't want to face today. And the conversation that I have about it as a kid is, well, I already faced it yesterday, the day before. I already was brave. I faced that. I did that. I accomplished that. Why do I need to do it again? It's kind of like my part of me is arguing with the other part, the scared part of me. Yeah, I suppose it's the kid in me doesn't want to deal with threat or confrontation or life or the good and the bad. And it's just worrying thinking. And I know I have it quite a lot this time of the year because Christmas is coming up. And there's a certain amount of pressure with Christmas and expectations, and I have a lot of good memories from Christmas, but I've also got some sad feelings, obviously, because people have died. Someone has died in my family many years ago, and it reminds me of that person, obviously, that I love a lot. So it's a tough time for me this year, and I think the end of the year, thinking about the start of January, that does cause anxiety. Because it's worrying about the future, it's anticipating, it's not wanting to face life. So some of that is going on for me, and running a business as well. Sometimes I worry when my business goes well, and I worry when it's not going well. Why is it not going as well as it was going last month or the month before? Or how comes I'm not making as much money as I did last time? Or how comes I'm not making or feeling in myself that I'm making the impact that I did 2 months ago? So there's that as well. There's all these things. So there's a lot going on, as there is for everyone. And then there's, the cold weather, and you know how the human mind is. We have so much going on. We're quite sensitive. So so this morning when I wake up, I thought, oh no, not again, not this feeling, because for me it's periodic in how it comes. There's times where I have periods where it doesn't come. Last few months I've been in the best place I've been in. I've told you guys, because I've just been facing everything or pretty much, and I've been succeeding. Business has been going really well. Things have been progressing in all areas of my life, and my clients are getting results. So I had a lot of peace. But obviously you can't, as one of my friends said, you can't rest on your laurels. That's not going to make me have peace forever. There's challenges that come in. As I said, there's anxieties, especially with the Christmas coming up, and feelings and emotions, memories from the past, some good, some not so good. So dealing with all those things, of course, is going to trigger anxiety when you're a human being. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter how many people I've helped. So these are patterns that I've had all my life from my childhood. So that's how I know to teach other people, because I know by my own patterns and I recognize their patterns and I can help them overcome them. So my one has always been predominantly stronger. Everyone's anxiety might be different. Mine's always very strong in the morning when I wake up. Boom, it hits me straight away and I'm like, oh my God, please God, take this away. So I felt like going back to bed and sleeping and just, putting my head on. And then I went to do that and I couldn't do it, because I know if I do that, it's got me. I'm not going to get over it. It's going to take longer. I'm going to be suffering, in my sleep. It's just going to be a horrible feeling. So I know what the solution is. I've got to break the day down into baby steps. And the first step is, for me, is I've got to get up. I've got to get my phone. I've got to listen to something positive. So I got some chapters, some biblical chapters, and I've read some of them to calm me down, and it did work. And then I might listen to something else, but I didn't. That was enough today. So I some chapters I just picked out from the Bible on faith, calming down, relaxing anxiety. So I got some wisdom from that. Read that, went over that a couple of times. Calm my breathing down. I suppose calm my adrenaline nervous system down. Next step is getting up, making the bed, taking a shower. Now I know once I make the bed and I get up and I take a shower, 85% of the anxiety is gone out of my body, and that's what happened. That's why I feel great now. I'm calm. It's gone. So it almost, sometimes it does feel like a possession. It does feel like you've got a demon in you that's in your body. As crazy as that may sound, but people with anxiety will totally know what I'm talking about, and you want to get it out, and it's possessing you, and you're trying to fight it, and it's fighting back, and it feels very strong. It feels like you're not strong enough to beat it. So having a shower, or I shower anyway, but when you've got anxiety, small things are big things. If people don't have this, see, let me just make a point of saying this. This annoys me sometimes. Everyone has anxiety, but some people have what I would call an anxiety disorder, which is basically their anxiety is worse. And I'm one of them. And I know everyone who follows me has the same. All my clients have. We probably got it more than the average person, who definitely still gets it. They go through all these things and feelings, but they might not have it as strong, or they might not be as sensitive, which we are, which I am, to the triggers of anxiety, especially in the morning. So when I take a shower, 85% of it's gone. I put on some clean clothes, pants and socks and stuff, and it's like 90% of it's gone. Then I'm like, right, I want to make a video and do something in my business. I've got to take action. I can't just sit about now showered. I could if I wanted to, because I work for myself and I could spend the whole day doing nothing, but that's not going to make me feel good. It's like, how can I create some content that will help other people, and it will help me to help other people. It will help everyone. So I'm making this video now, and the anxiety has pretty much gone. Now I've calmed down. Now the conversations and the voices have calmed down, and it's like you exercise those demons out, which you do. So I'm not saying this to be big-headed, but at the same time, I guess sometimes I am a bit defensive, because I think, well, if I share my vulnerabilities and people start trying to judge me or tell me that I'm weak or I can't do it, then I need to respond to that. I'm not saying that they will. Most people are nice people, they won't do it, but some will. And part of me doesn't care what they think anyway. But I want to respond with saying, just because I suffer with anxiety and I've had this disorder all my life, don't doubt me, because I'm a strong person. It's this demons, these anxieties, that I use to become successful. And that's why thank God I've achieved what I have achieved, and I've inspired so many people, because I've got the courage to talk about it and be vulnerable, and I've got the strategies to overcome it. Now, back in the day, I felt like a coward. If someone would have judged me, it would have probably would have brought me to tears. I'm not sure about that. Maybe that's dramatic, but it would have affected me so bad, because I would have thought, well, they're right. I am a coward. I am weak. I'm not doing anything. That's not the case anymore. For the last 12 to 15 years, I've just been facing fear consistently. So the solution is, you've got to face the fear. You've got to face the anxiety. The anxiety is like a bully that's bullying you, trying to take your lunch money, trying to intimidate you, trying to hurt you. You've got to stand up to it. No matter how, and when you stand up to it and you commit to it, you realize how strong you are. Every time I go through this process of having a panic attack or an anxiety attack, when I overcome it, I said, thank God for making me strong. Thank for my dad for making me strong, and my mum, because I am strong. Sometimes I doubt myself when I'm in an episode of anxiety. I think I'm weak. I think, why do I have this at this stage of my life with the man I am, with what I've achieved? But it's because we're human, and obviously it does have to be humble. It's important. So once I learned to do this, this is the real truth, guys. All the videos that you've watched and you followed, um, the reason why I get clients, and I've been consistently getting clients, and I've, thank God, managed to get a girlfriend at different stages of my life, do all these brave acts, is because I'm able to go through this fight with this anxiety. It's not always like this for me, but today it came on very strong, and yesterday, and so, it takes a lot of courage, but you can do it. To anyone suffering out there, I think once you've got the education, which is what I'm doing today, once you're educated on why you're having it, why you're responding in this way, but more importantly, the solution, because it used to annoy me when people would just talk about anxiety and mental health, but it's like, give me the solution, man. We know the problem. We already know the problem. We have it. We live with it. We know all the patterns, or most of them, but we want the solution. The solution is you've got to take action in small incremental steps so that you can manage the discomfort and the terror and the stress and the worry and the emotional turmoil that goes on inside. And I know that most men won't speak about this, but if I speak about it and I go first, more men are going to speak about this, and then they're going to feel so much better after, because I feel free after. I'd rather people judge me and I feel good about who I am, and I'm honest and I'm truthful and I'm free, and I'm anxiety free, then everybody like me or nobody judge me, but inside I'm dying inside, I'm suffering, and I'm depressed and I'm frightened. I don't want to live like that, and I stopped living like that years ago, and that's how I found peace in my life. So it's an ongoing battle. I'm going to battle this for the rest of my life. I know that, and I've accepted that. When I accept it, I can get excited. Then I can live a great life, which I have. I've been living a great life for over 10 years. Obviously a great life with struggles, but nonetheless a great life. That is an amazing life. And if I was to write a book on my life, or make a film, or just do an interview, a podcast, people probably wouldn't believe me. They'd think, is this guy lying? Is he making a... But it's the truth. The things I've experienced in my life and what I've done, I don't mean like I've done it all, through faith and through having support and helping a lot of people, is a rocky story. Because like all my followers, we all feel I was an underdog growing up. I was always made to feel you're weird, you're different, you're dumb, you're not good, all this stuff. So effectively, my anxiety has always been a blessing and a curse. If I don't use it, it's going to use me. It's going to be hell for me. My life's going to be hell. So my journey, I can't speak for everyone else's journey. My journey has been about being a warrior, not a worrying about things, but being a warrior and confronting fear, facing it. And that's how I find myself. That's how I connect to myself, whatever you want to call it. That's when I feel my most happiest. If I've got loads of money, women, material stuff, but I'm not facing my anxiety, I'm in hell. I don't feel good. I don't enjoy it. The material stuff, it doesn't make a difference to me. No matter how many nice clothes I have, none of it I won't have peace in my life. So my journey continues, is to inspire people. And I thought it would be helpful today if people could see that I struggled as well with it. And that's how I'm able to identify it in my clients and say, I understand wholeheartedly what you're going through, because I go through it as well. But I know you can overcome this. I know that you can stop making excuses, not be a victim, can still be compassionate. You can cry if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You can get help. Your faith, or whatever you believe in, that's down to you. It's not my business. You can conquer it, and it's an ongoing fight. So yeah, I conquered my anxiety today. Amazing. Tomorrow I might have to conquer it again. I will have to conquer it again tomorrow, no doubt. The weeks ahead. But when I change my mindset, and I've got a fearless mindset, it's not a negative thing that I wake up with panic, or I might have diarrhea, I need to go to the toilet because my butterflies in my stomach. Because if I face it, amazing things are going to come. And I think this is the truth deep down that human beings don't want to hear. They want to hear someone say, well, I had anxiety, I'm perfect now, and I'm going to give you a formula that's going to make you perfect. But none of us are perfect. We're all flawed, and we've all got great potential. We've all got so much talent and courage, but most people never get to see it because they're not able. I'm not judging them. I'm just pointing out facts. They're not able to do the things that I done today. And the honesty, you know, I always feel in myself, these demons or anxieties, they hate it when you expose them and you tell the truth, you call them out, because then they can't bully you no more. If you're being bullied at school and you tell the teachers and you expose it, bullies hate it because they've been exposed, and at some point they can't continue doing that. They're going to be penalized. So when we call out our fears, especially as men, we're not weak men, we're strong men, because we're exposing our demons and our fears, and they can't bully us no more. And then we get past them and we're no longer suffering, because I'm not suffering right now. I'm in a great place. That's why I don't always smile. I can't just fake smile, but I'm peaceful. There is a smile coming, you see? So I'm feeling good because I've faced it. So I know I've spoken a lot because I'm passionate about this topic, but when you look at it on a practical level, it's very simple what you've got to do, but it's not easy for people. It's not easy for me still. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I'm panicking, I'm worrying about life, I'm worrying about money, I'm worrying about my living situation or my career or my relationships or the Christmas coming up or the January, or I'm worrying that I'm going to have to, I'm worried about filing taxes. That's another thing that scares a lot of people and triggers me as well, even though I know there's nothing to worry about. Because I'm paying my taxes, but these things you just worry about all these things. Like I said, you got to go, okay, what am I worried about? I can face it. I can face Christmas, and something good will come out of it. So it's really, you've got to almost have a conversation and talk about what you're frightened of and what is bringing this up, and then come up with a solution. And the solution is always to take action. The only way that I would overcome my fear of the Christmas coming up is by facing Christmas. And of course, I am a Christian by faith, so I do love what Christmas stands for, the good part of it, family, spending time, giving. Just most importantly, I like to spend time with my family and having dinner with my mum and dad and my brother. So, but it's just the idea around Christmas, it puts pressure on. So it's taking the pressure off by the honest confession. And these were things that I always learned when I was a kid. I learned these just from basic knowledge of, going to church when we were younger at school, or just my own instincts, my own relationship with believing in God and just having faith, get things out. And I think that's the hardest thing for men to do. And I know it's hard for me as well at times, but if you don't get it out, then it's going to stay in you. The possessing thoughts and feelings and anxieties. And the more you practice this, the less anxiety you have. And this is how I overcame the fear of public speaking. I had a terrible anxiety, and I'd still have fear of doing it again because I haven't done it for a while, and I'm going to do that soon, something to face. But I just kept doing public talks and I got better and better. Same fear with the fear of speaking to women. So what I'm trying to say is the process in which you overcome any anxiety, whether it's starting a business, whether it's talking to women, whether it's going to a social gathering, whether it's dealing with the pressures of life, or certain seasons, whether it's Christmas or New Year, whatever the anxiety is, it doesn't really matter. The solution is the same. And the solution is you've got to take action on it. And I know that's the hardest thing for people to accept when they're in a fearful episode, because the instincts of a human being, all of our instincts is when we feel afraid, we want to run away. We want to escape it. So a lot of the times we've been taught, I suppose, by society and our instincts, the way that we stop anxiety and fear is by running away from it. And that serves its purpose for a certain point, but you can't rest on that. That ain't going to completely take away. That helps you to a certain point. But the better solution, thank God I found, and I've been teaching the world for almost over a decade, face it, take action, face it. And it always feels like, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I can't do this. The emotions were so heavy in my stomach. The panic that I was feeling, I just thought, I can't do this. I just want to, I'm a grown man and I feel like calling my mum for help. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I was able to take responsibility and didn't need to call my mum this time. So I've done it, I've overcome it. So it's crazy to say this, but I mean it. What I overcome today and what you're going to overcome is just as big a success when I go and get a client and change someone's life, or help a client to get a relationship, or to make more money, or to give a public talk, or to be vulnerable and open up, go to therapy, whatever it may be, because the success is in the small details, and you continue to practice these habits and you get more confident. So I said it to my friend, building confidence isn't for the faint-hearted, and being successful isn't. And that's why we have a generation of people that struggle, are not happy in areas of their life. And I can understand being having someone who's gone through it, but you are stronger than you think. And it's the battle of getting up and facing it. So today I will go out and face life on life's terms, and have a coffee and continue working on my business and enjoying my holiday here in Germany. So yeah, when you get these things out, it's even when I'm teaching them, you learn so much from facing these things, and you develop skills and tools. As I said years ago, I didn't know how to deal with this. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I'm the only one that's going through this. What is going on with me? What's happening? Of course, later on I realized that I'm not the only one. The whole planet suffers of anxiety. People just, and I'm not judging them, because I've done it as well, and I understand why they do it, and I've done it. People hide it. They don't want people to know that about them, because they're so ashamed, and they're afraid that they'll be shamed. But why should we feel ashamed when everyone has it? Everyone goes to the toilet, doesn't they? So you're not going to feel ashamed for going to the toilet when everyone does it. It's part of being human. So my message when I get passionate, and sometimes I am raw, I know it's part of my personality as well. People will love the video. When I say stop being a coward, what I really mean is what I'm saying today. I just say it in a straight talking way, because I don't like BS. But what I mean is face it. Don't cower away from it, because if you do, it's got you, and it's horrible when you run from it. I did it for all my life, for the first part of my life. Trust me, it ruined my life. When I faced it, my life transformed in every aspect, in every area. And the journey continues. As I said, it doesn't end for me because I built a successful business, or because I got a girlfriend, or because I made money, or inspired people, or because I've had many good months. It's a battle for life. And listening to Tyson Fury makes me know that I'm not the only one, and it makes me know that having anxiety doesn't make me a bad person or different to other people. It makes me human, but it's how I deal with it. And it reminds you of what you're capable of doing. Sometimes it's an alarm bell that you're not doing all you could do, and you're not being all you can be. It really is a wake-up call. And I've realized, even saying this, I know in my own heart I need to do more. I need to help more people. I need to face more myself. I've got more to learn, more to grow. I'm old and young at 39, so I have to do a lot more. And that excites me, and it scares me as well. It makes me nervous, makes me anxious at times. But it's no different to any time. I've always got through it. I've always found strength through all the things that I've said in this video, through faith, through taking action, through having the tools and the strategies that are inside. So it's not like I'm saying a tool, for example, like a bottle. It's not a physical tool. These are emotional tools. They're psychological, they're spiritual. They're tools you develop on the inside, they're strengths. And it's having the awareness, go, okay, I'm not feeling good right now, I'm afraid. I know this, I've had this before, I've got experience with it. I know the process. I've got to get out of bed, make the bed, take a shower, put some clean clothes on, do some affirmations, listen to some music, get excited. Of course, be grateful. Of course, I say I'm grateful to be alive and have what I've got. So all these things, anxiety hates it. Or I can use the word demons. Our demons don't like this stuff, don't like the truth. They don't like love, basically. Fear doesn't tend to like love, because love wipes out fear. But a lot of people struggle, myself included at times as a man, to show love, to be loving, because we don't want to feel weak. But it's not weak, it's strength. I'll leave you on this. I learned this is my quote, because it's not me quoting someone else. So I learned this recently, lately, a realization. As men, what we think is weak is strong, and what we think is strong is weak. I'll leave you at that, all right? Fearless.